Now we will talk about the humidity. Humidity is another factor which is responsible for the weather change. So humidity is the measure of how much moisture is in the air. So it basically determines the amount of water vapor in the air. So here we have a term moisture. Basically, it determines tiny water droplets that are present in the atmosphere. So normally tiny droplets or water vapor normally exist in the atmosphere, but when sunlight actually come, and we have learned from the water cycle that water actually evaporates from the sea level. So when sun actually gives heat to the water bodies, so due to the rising of temperature through the sunlight, some water droplets actually evaporates and accumulated in the air as water vapor. So with the increase of the temperature of the sun, the water vapor in the air, that means the humidity also increases. So here we can see from the picture that from the sun we can get direct heat, and due to the heating of the sun to the water bodies, the water actually evaporates in the form of water vapor and accumulated in the atmosphere, and thus this number of water vapor in the air actually determines the humidity level. Okay. So now we have two questions. Why no rainfall occurs in the coastal areas? So now we have learned that humidity actually the measure of water vapor in the air atmosphere. So basically we learned sun actually directly heats up the water bodies, and from the water bodies, the water actually turns into the water vapor and evaporates in the atmosphere and accumulated in the atmosphere as water vapor. So where we have lots of water, there we can see more evaporation. That means we can see more humidity there. That means the places which are near coastal areas are more humid, since we can see the phenomenon of evaporation occurring more there. So that's why actually the places where there is coastal area, rainfall is seen to be occur more. Like we know from water vapor, then again by the process of condensation, clouds are formed, and then we get rainfall. So when there will be lots of water, so more water vapor will be converted into clouds and you will get more rainfall. That's why the areas which are coastal, we can get lots of rainfall there. So now we have another question, that is why our skin gets dry during the winter season. So it is actually occurring because of humidity as well. Like during the winter season, we have learned that humidity is responsible for the heat of sunlight in the water bodies. So during winter, humidity remains less. That means we can't get that amount of sunlight that is necessary for forming more water vapor in the atmosphere. So the humidity remains less. That time, actually the water particles in our skin actually evaporate in more amount than that of summer. That is why our skin gets dry in the winter season, and in the summer season we can see that our skin remains more oily because of the humidity. So here both of the answer, that means both of the question answer is responsible for the case of humidity. Due to humidity, more water vapor is formed. It forms more clouds, results in rainfall. Okay, so here we have less humidity, which result in the evaporation of water. Which results in dry skin. So in winter we have less humidity in the atmosphere, so more water vapors are being evaporated from our skin, which results in the dry skin of our body. So now we will have a very important topic, that is air pressure. So air pressure is the measure of the weight of air above us in the atmosphere. So air pressure is basically happening due to the weight of air in the atmosphere. So from the chapter of wind we have learned that air pressure actually runs from the high temperature to the high pressure to the low pressure. So air actually blows from the high pressure to the low pressure. When we have high pressure in an area, that means when actually sun hits up an area, like we have, suppose there is land area and water area, or any type of area. Like suppose in this area the heat of the sun is more than that of this area. Due to the getting of more heat in the land area, actually it decreases the density over here. That means the air density decreases. Air decreases and the density decreases, we get more warm air. Again, where we have less heat, where less amount of heat is applied by the sun, here we have more density and cooler air. So what happens when density actually decreases, the warm air that is present in the atmosphere of air actually rises up, and thus the space remains vacant. So to fill up the space, the air where we have lots of air and the cooler air actually rushes to that place and take the place of this atmosphere, and thus we can see wind to be blown, and that actually is the phenomenon of air pressure. So now we will talk about sea bridge and land bridge. So here we have two terms, that is sea bridge and land bridge. So what is bridge? So bridge is gentle movement of air air actually rushes from high pressure to low pressure. That means uh, in case of sea bridge and land bridge, two opposite phenomenon actually happens. So in the daytime, sunlight directly heats up the land area more faster than that of water bodies. That decreases the water density of this area, and which actually causes the rise of water vapor from that area, and then the warmer air rises up, and the cool air here the cooler here of this area actually rushes to this place in order to fill up the vacant places, so that we can see wind to be blown. So in case of sea bridge, sun directly heats up the land area. Here we can have high temperature, and thus the density of the air actually decreases, which actually helps to evaporate the warmer area in the atmosphere. And from this area where we have cooler air in the ocean area, so the cooler air actually rushes this place to this place, and thus in this way the temperature and air pressure both are balanced, and that we can see sea bridge occurring here. So in case of land bridge, the opposite phenomenon occurs. So as sun heats up land area faster, in a similar way, land area also actually cools down faster than that of water bodies. So during the night time, the air of the ocean area remains more warmer than that of land area. So in that case, the density of the warmer of the ocean area actually decreases and rise up. So to fill up the vacancy, air actually rushes from the land area to the water area. Thus we can see land bridge occurring here. That means wind is blown from the land to the ocean place, and in sea bridge we can see that wind to be blown from the water body to the land area. So this is the phenomena of sea bridge and land bridge. So now we will talk about monsoon wind. So it's a specialized wind that actually vary due to seasonal change. So a monsoon is a seasonal change in the direction of the prevailing or strongest winds of a region. So we know we have different type of seasons in our country, summer, winter, and other seasons. So we have learned due to the temperature difference in the atmosphere, air is blown from the high pressure to the low pressure. So during the summer time, the land area of our country remains more warmer than that of the water body area. That means the air pressure in the land area remains lower than that of the water bodies. So in summer season, air actually rushes from the water bodies to the land area in order to balance the air pressure. That means from high pressure, air rushes to the low pressure land area to balance the air pressure. That means we can see southwest monsoon here. And in case of winter, the water bodies remain more warmer than that of land area. That means the air pressure in the water bodies in winter remains lower than that of the land area. So in case of winter, we see air rushes from the high pressure land area to the water bodies. That means northeast monsoon can be seen in the winter season. So basically due to the air pressure difference and the phenomenon of season, that means in winter we see water bodies to be more warmer than that of land area. we can see different type of monsoon occurring here. So now we'll talk about the movement of air. So we learned from the chapter of wind that any type of movement of air is called wind. So what is breeze and what is gale? So when the air movement is very gentle and soft, like we can see flowers are moving due to the wind, it looks very beautiful actually. So this type of wind is called breeze. And what is gale? Gale is the strongest. High, strongest or high movement of air. So gale is the high or strong flow of air. Like in this picture, we can see we have storm here and we have a scene of hurricane here. So due to the huge difference between the air pressure of a certain area, like when the air pressure of one place is, decreases gradually, so high pressure from another region rushes very quickly to that place in order to fill the vacancy of the air pressure and maintain the balance. So in this case, we can see a huge wind is blown, and thus different type of natural disaster like storm, hurricane are seen to be occur.